Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, Commissioner. Good to see you again.
Assemblyman.
Just would like to very quickly say I hear a lot of good things about what you're doing across my district. They're very appreciative of your background and your being forthright and you're honest, and you've been down in my district on 2 or 3 different occasions. So I personally appreciate that too, because in agriculture they always like to see the real people in government come out and talk turkey with them, you know. Thanks. I echo the comments of Senator Romero that I was questioning the $30 million, but I won't dwell on that. I think you've answered questions pretty much that I had through his comments and questioning. A few years ago, when price of fuel spiked to well over $4 a gallon, the farmers were put upon with fuel surcharges because obviously the haulers had contracts to haul the milk at a certain price per gallon, per mile, or whatever. And so they enacted surcharges. And then when fuel prices decreased somewhat, I'm talking to some farmers that the surcharges were still there. But yet there were 2 or 3 or 4 years had already gone by. So obviously some of those contracts had been renegotiated. So if they're renegotiated, I'm sure they kind of readjusted some of those prices for hauling, but the surcharges were still there to my understanding. I guess the question, I haven't had a chance to talk to some of the farmers, but the question is, if they're still there now, why? And if your department has any oversight on that, because you know, there shouldn't be a free lunch on the farmers all the time. They pay the hauling, which I believe they shouldn't, get their milk from the farm to the creamery because they no longer have possession or ownership of it once it leaves the farm. And if there's some way that we can look at that, if the farmers are still being charged a surcharge on that hauling for the milk, because that's when the price was over $4 a gallon and milk prices literally still in the gutter, if you will, at $12 and change, they were really getting gouged on some of those surcharges and having to pay very heavily. But if your department could just look at that, if surcharges are still in place, if they are, why? Because again, we're in a situation now that fuel prices are falling. I'm always concerned about what the dairy farmer has to pay, and it seems like it sometimes others look at the dairy farm as a free lunch to extract money. So,
sure. My experience is that's largely a farmer co-op arrangement, and the farmers, comprise the co-ops. But we're going to pull together here, as mentioned in my testimony, a work group on looking at particularly the dairy margin protection program, but also issues for the co-ops and what is the direction we need to go forward to make sure that we can stabilize dairy producers in our state. And we'll be happy to add that to the agenda.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.